Hello and welcome to CivilianTacticalWeapons.com. I'd like to thank you for coming to the website. The website is actually designed to inform people of various different firearms that the average civilian can own in most red states. So each week I'm going to try to showcase a different firearm and inform people of various different opinions of the firearm and any additional work you may want to do or is available to do on the various different firearms. Because of some of the information I'm going to say right up front, I'm not a lawyer, so any information I state in regards to gun laws, which I will refer to a lot, I do a lot of research on gun laws. I am very informed on gun laws, but please don't use me as the final say in gun laws. So I advise everyone to research the information I provide on their own and come to their own conclusions. So this here is actually an H&K USC 45 converted to pretty much an UMP 45. A couple of things that you'll notice that is different between this and an UMP 45 is the internals of the firing mechanisms. Even though they look like you can set them to single shot, double tap, and full auto, are actually the single shot components from the USC. So this is not converted into a fully automatic firearm. One other major difference between this and the USC is the forward barrel. This is not, I did not get an SBR license for this, so it maintains the required length of the USC barrel. The other thing is a shorter barrel would also reduce accuracy, and for my own target shooting, it wasn't a major concern, and I didn't want to go through the paperwork for getting an SBR license for this gun. So a couple of things. First, the USC comes with a different design to it. These are actually all the components from the original USC, along with the pistol grip that I don't have here. They come with the 10-shot mags, which I believe, if I'm correct, I think it only came with one. So I'd recommend you buy a second one. But you could also be like me and not even bother with them, and if you're planning on doing this conversion, you will be buying new magazines anyways. There's another concept called the part count. There's a restriction for a certain amount of parts have to be US made, and you cannot exceed the part count. Because of this conversion actually will exceed parts of the part count, we need to remove other import parts and replace them with US made parts to reduce the part count. So I'm actually going to kind of explain through various different things that I've done. I know some of these little minor things I'm doing may sound crazy, but it's actually required by law to make it legal. So if we start with the magazine, this is actually an H&K magazine. Post 2004, you can buy these magazines. There's no big deal about them. However, in order to have it connected to the firearm, and this game sounds stranger, you need to replace a couple of stupid little components in this thing. One is the magazine plate on the bottom, and something called a magazine follower. The magazine follower is there's a big spring inside the magazine, and it pushes this plastic piece on top, which is where you put each of the bullets in. When you push down on those bullets, you're pushing on the follower. My follower and the magazine plates on all of my 25-shot magazines are actually US made parts to reduce the part count. Another thing to note is the physical trigger is another part. So what I've done is I've actually taken the imported, the USC comes with an imported German-made trigger. I actually replaced it with a US-made trigger to reduce the part count. The other thing here is the stock block. The stock block is this back component which hooks the stock to the firearm, is a US-made part. The stock itself, you can also buy US-made stocks, which also reduces the part count. The rail kits here come in something called a blister pack. So the first thing I would do, even if you don't plan on doing the full conversion, is buy this blister pack. The blister pack will cost you about $100, and what it is it's a rail system. It's a bunch of Picatinny rails, one long one for the top, left and right, and an underbody one. And I'll actually show you why it's a good idea to get these. The screws and holes are already all pre-configured here, so all you're doing is attaching the blister pack to the frame. You're just using a small Allen wrench to do it. And in fact, the USC comes with an H&K toolkit, which actually has the screwdriver required anyways. The other thing I have is I have an EOTech on this one. I'm a big fan of these EOTechs. I own numerous EOTechs. If you want to, I can have a whole discussion on optics, to be honest with you, with the various different optics I own. But on most of my tactical weapons I purchase, I use the EOTechs on them. They're extremely easy on the eyes, great relief, and you can probably shave off anywhere from 1/4 to 1/3 of a second off your target acquisition time versus using the standard iron sights. So after I purchased the blister pack, you can buy, this is just a standard forward pistol grip. You can pick them up at any gun store or gun show for roughly about 25 bucks. It's not an expensive component. The stock block, that little metal component I showed you, is a little harder product to find. And actually I have all the information on that type of stuff if you want to know. But the US made stock block is about a couple $100. You're going to buy the lower receiver kit, which will actually probably come with the full auto interiors. So as soon as you receive that component, you do not want to assemble a fully automatic weapon. So what I tell you to do is, when you get this import part, you'll take all the internals out of it and immediately throw it in the garbage, with the exception of one spring. It's actually a large spring that is included that goes right behind the trigger. There's nothing illegal about keeping that one spring. It is not part of the full auto kit. It's just a stronger spring than the one provided with the USC. So after you've gotten those,